Hey. Welcome to It's Culture Podcast. My name is Mark. I'm the host of the It's Culture Podcast. And today we're going to be discussing the bombshell raid of Sean Diddy Combs, Puff Daddy, aka Love, whatever you want to call him. If you don't know, this past week, Sean Combs' houses were raided in Los Angeles, New York, and Miami as part of a joint venture uh, between Homeland Security, the FBI, and local law officials. So we're going to dive deep into that. Don't want to waste your time. Let's get into it right now.
To the latest on the sex trafficking investigation that led to raids on the homes of Sean Combs here in Los Angeles and in Florida. He has not been arrested or charged, though he is named in multiple assault and trafficking lawsuits. Eyewitness News reporter Sophie Flay joins us here live with more. Sophie.
Giovanna, in a 79-page lawsuit filed by a music producer who claims to have worked with and lived with Sean Combs for a period of time, alleges there were underage girls, hidden cameras, and sexual harassment at his home, all of which Combs denies. What were federal investigators in tactical gear looking for at Sean Diddy Combs' home in Los Angeles and Miami? Homeland Security says the raids were part of a months-long federal investigation, including sex trafficking.
If he's convicted, ultimately, he'll be in prison for a very long time. One count of sex trafficking typically is 10 to 15 years in prison.
Cassandra Ventura, also known as Cassie, filed a lawsuit in November alleging Combs raped her and forced her to engage in sex trafficking. The two parties settled the suit the day after she filed.
The problem for Diddy is those allegations become public immediately, and they remain public. They're public record. So now that they're public record, and Cassie was brave enough to put her name to those allegations and not just file as a Jane Doe, well, that certainly empowers other potential victims of Diddy's conduct.
Multiple lawsuits have been filed against Combs, including one by music producer Rodney Jones. Jones alleges sex trafficking and sexual assault, also mentioning underage girls in the 79-page lawsuit. Claims made by Jones include hidden cameras in the rap mogul's home, saying, quote, Mr. Combs allegedly threatened to eat Mr. Jones's face in order to get what he wants. According to law enforcement, federal agents with Homeland Security seized computers and other electronic devices at Combs' home in Holmby Hills and Miami.
The federal authorities will look into the evidence that they've collected, and then they'll go in front of a grand jury and try to get an arrest warrant for Diddy if there's enough there.
25-year-old Brendan Paul, who was arrested on drug charges Monday, also mentioned in the lawsuit, claiming Paul carried drugs and guns for the three-time Grammy winner. He's since posted bail. Combs' attorney released a statement Tuesday in response to the raid, saying in part, there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. This is nothing more than a witch hunt. Mr. Combs is innocent and will fight to clear his name.
And it's still unclear where Combs was at the time of those raids and where he is now. His attorneys saying that he's spoken to and cooperated with authorities.
All right. So you see what happened. Basically, Monday, sometime in the afternoon, the Fed decided that they were going to execute a search warrant, and they basically busted in and took evidence from the house, computers, and all other types of electronic devices, and they went on to arrest who in the lawsuit alleges is the drug mule, Brandon Paul, a former Syracuse basketball player from Ohio. So we're gonna dive deep. I'm gonna kind of go highlight a little bit of this lawsuit that Lil Rod filed. Trigger warning: there is a lot of stuff that may be triggering to some people, so please be cautious. So let's get into it. So if you see it, it says right there, it says the document contains highly graphic information of sexual nature, including sexual assault. Additionally, there are graphic images of the aftermath of a shooting, redacted images of sexual intercourse, redacted images of minors, sex workers, and prostitutes, and details of sex trafficking and illegal distribution of guns and drugs. So some people may ask, if Lil Rod had all this information about Diddy, why is he filing a civil lawsuit versus a criminal? Well, here's the thing. Lil Rod cannot file criminal charges against Diddy, he would have to go to the law enforcement, and they would have to look into this and file the charges. So it's easier for him because of a lawsuit for civil liability for him to go after the money. So that's why he did this. But I think because of his civil lawsuit and the civil lawsuit from Cassie and some other people, that gave the FBI a probable cause to say, okay, let's take a look at this. Let's look into all these things that they were saying. And and as you saw in the video, there's a guy, Brendan Paul, who allegedly was the person that was supplying the drugs. He is mentioned in this suit. um you see that, it kind of goes into Rodney and how he was and where he resided and how he came involved. And you see the people. There go Sean, there go his son Justin, there go Lucian Grange, there go Ethiopia Haptamarian, there go Christina Quorum, who was his chief of staff. Here goes Motown Records, Universal Records, the Love Records, all these entities. And then it kind of goes into talking about Lil Rod himself, how he was born and raised, and he's a musical prodigy and worked with some gospel artists. How he came into contact with Sean Puffy Combs, because he was producing the Love album. And during those times, from September of 2022 to November 2023, he produced 9 songs. During that time, he also lived with Diddy in Los Angeles, New York, and Miami, and spent several weeks on a yacht in the Virgin Islands. And throughout his time, over that year that he spent with Diddy between Los Angeles, New York, Miami, and the Virgin Islands, Mr. Jones, aka Lil Rod, is alleging that he witnessed a bunch of illegal activity, hundreds, and he has some other people named. Do you see? There's a rapper. There's an R&B singer name that's been redacted. You see, Young Miami's cousin that's on there. You see that he talks about Bishop T.D. Jakes being brought on as kind of like some conduit. They try to help Diddy with his image and his brand. You see actor Cuba Gooding Jr. there, um, who is accused of sexual harassing and assaulting Lil Rod. We already know that Cuba Gooding Jr. has already pled guilty to sexual harassment charges recently, stemming from some things that happened in New York. And then we see this Chalice recording studio shooting. Now, if y'all don't know anything about this shooting, um, this was on the news, and it was when the news reported it, they reported it as the shooting happened as a drive-by shooting outside of a studio that Diddy and them were at. Well, Lil Rod is alleging that the drive-by shooting of this person who was named as Mr. G, did not happen outside of Chalice recording studio. It actually happened inside the studio, and Diddy and Justin were the culprits in shooting this guy. And he kind of goes into that. He said that he was sitting about 2 feet away from the bathroom. They heard the arguments. Boom, the guy got shot. He's bleeding out in the bathroom. They drag him out to the front, and that's when Diddy told everybody that was there he wanted them to instruct the police that he had nothing to do with any of this, and that tell them that he was standing outside. Tell them that Mr. G was standing outside and got shot by a drive-by. You see, here is the CBS report right there where they show that they are reported it. And then here is the bathroom in the aftermath. And this is where Lil Rod alleges the shooting happened. You can see the blood on the ground. You can see like a jacket. You see some blood over there on the toilet. He's saying clearly this shooting did not happen outside. This shooting happened from the inside. Um, and then he kind of talked about him getting groomed, Lil Rod being groomed into gay sex. You see these videos, these images. They say that he said that this was Stevie J, but a gay porn star came out after this lawsuit hit and said no, that was him. Still don't understand uh, how that makes it even better, but hey. And he talks about on Thanksgiving how he was assaulted by Young Miami's cousin. Say he went to the bathroom and she came in there and proceeded his pictures of them. She proceeded to try to give him fellatio in the bathroom, and then she stripped down and tried to basically have sex with him in front of everybody that was there. Uh, so and then we kind of go into some other things. He talks about waking up, being drugged, and waking up to two sex workers in the bed with him along with Mr. Combs. He don't remember anything. These are the pictures of the sex workers. Their faces have been redacted. He kind of goes into this thing. This lawsuit is literally um 70 odd pages long. I would drop a link in the chat so you all can go review it for yourselves and read it. But yeah, this thing is taking a whole different turn here. And for Sean Puffy Combs, he's come out vividly denying all these allegations. His lawyer spoke about the militarization of the police when they raided his houses, said it was abuse of force. So we're gonna be paying attention to this over the next couple of months, because right now, as it stands, it's just a civil lawsuit. No criminal charges have been filed against Sean Combs, so we can't say that he has been indicted on anything. Um, the only thing that we know was that his plane was grounded in Opelika. They arrested the drug mule on possession of cocaine and some marijuana candy, probably some gummies. Um, um, I'm pretty sure they're going to pressure. He already bonded out, but I'm pretty sure they're going to turn some heat up on him to see what if he can corroborate some of these stories. Uh, you know, there's going to be other people that are going to be involved in this. You see, Young Miami's cousin was involved in this. Uh, there's a lot to unpack with this lawsuit. And the bigger question is somebody coming after Diddy? Is there somebody who is trying to destroy him, his image, his reputation? We don't know. Is it a witch hunt? Is all this stuff been being made up? We don't know. We see pictures, we see images. We know in the age of AI, there's a lot of technology that can create things. We don't know. What do the fans got? We don't know. So there's a lot of we don't knows and in this case. So as it manifests itself over the next couple of months, we will see if the feds actually charge Diddy with anything. And if he gets charged with anything, then we will be back to discuss those charges and what they're looking at. But as far as what it looks like they're trying to build a RICO case. RICO is not a charge. It is a statute of it is a statute that allows prosecutors to basically create a criminal enterprise by showing illegal activity and those businesses and that enterprise being used for those legal activities. So in this case, we're talking about Love Records. We're talking about Combs Enterprises. We're talking about PD himself, and his use of money, which will probably be used in some type of money laundering, wire fraud. That'll be that charge. We're talking about the solicitation of drugs, possession, and distribution of drugs. That's another charge. If they can show that this guy Brendan Paul was actually supplying the drugs and that they have those transactions, everything was, they're going to show that. They're going to show wire fraud, um, maybe some bank fraud in there. And then if there is illegal sex trafficking, then you're going to bring in the international sense, because now you got Homeland Security, and they're there for the sex trafficking part, because if they can show that he was engaging in illegal sex trafficking, then that's a whole nother charge. So you're looking at possession, you're looking at the solicitation of sex by minors, you're looking at probably statutory rape, you're looking at drugging, um which we consider a form of rape and sodomy. You're looking at the alleged cover up of a actual um, attempted murder. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things in this to unpack. So let me know what y'all think. Thank you all for tuning in. Like I said at the beginning, please like, share, and subscribe. Keep me going. Keep me going. I just want to thank everybody who has subscribed over the last month or so. Y'all are helping me out. I'm starting to see my views go up and my engagement going up. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Until next time, let's keep it culture and peace out.